All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of the Raiders Report. Glad you guys could join us today. And I've got a former Nepean Raider and a current Norwich University D3 forward here on the show today, Felix Brassard. Felix, welcome, man. How are you?
Thanks, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. I really appreciate you taking some time. So how are things? Are you with Norwich right now?
Yeah, I'm in Vermont right now. We just completed our mandatory quarantine,
Okay.
and we're slowly getting back into it. We're hoping that the cases on campus kind of slowly decrease so we can start practicing as a whole team. But right now, it's just small groups.
So yeah, I was gonna ask, how is that working for you guys?
Um, right now, it's a little complicated. We don't really have a season per se. We have games scheduled, and the NCAA just announced recently that the national championship is canceled. So we're just trying to play games, like just trying to get it, like play some competition, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. By the way, for people watching at home, I have a little sickness, so if I'm pausing my microphone and just blowing my nose super quickly, I apologize for that. All right. Oh, sorry, my microphone was off there. During a quarantine and lockdown, a lot of different players that I've talked to have found different activities that they just picked up and like something that they had nothing else to do, so they just grabbed. Is there anything that for you like that you just picked up randomly?
Yeah, I started juggling. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, during the first quarantine, I had nothing to do, and I was like, all right, you know what? I want to try and pick up something I don't know how to do. And then the first thing that popped up in mind is juggling. And I started doing it, and I'm pretty good at it now.
oh, wow, that's an interesting one. I know that I was
Yeah.
watching a NHL game. I think it was the Canucks, and one of their rookies, Hoglander, has been juggling a lot, and that's something players are starting to do. And that's really interesting. That's it must help with coordination and stuff like that, right?
I mean, a little bit, but there was no thought behind it. I was like, I just picked up 3 tennis balls and I just tried to juggle them.
Yeah. Hey, that's something to do. I mean, if it keeps you busy, keeps you busy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. So just getting to hockey here. You spent one season. I'll just go back to your season with the Raiders. How did you enjoy playing in Ottawa and playing for that organization?
I loved it. It was a lot of fun. The whole organization is just great. Like the billets are super fun. The whole team was just a joy to be around. And I love Ottawa. I love that city. And whenever I
Yeah,
get a chance, I try and go back.
that's interesting. Yeah, I was actually, so you're from just outside of Montreal. Had you ever
Yeah.
been to Ottawa before?
I went to a couple tournaments in Gatineau or Ottawa, but that was my first time like staying there for a good amount of time. And
Oh, okay.
yeah,
What was your favorite thing about the city and your least favorite thing about the city, maybe?
uh, favorite thing I think was being able to go to the fitness lab and
Oh, okay.
a couple towns over. I think that was a really good place to work out at. I loved it honestly, and I still like follow them on social media and like
Oh,
they
okay.
posted a bunch of workouts and like I've been doing a bunch of those. Um, the worst one,
It's tough. That's a good thing for
yeah,
us, though. As someone from Ottawa, I like to see you're taking time to answer that.
yeah. I think the every restaurant was kind of far. I
Oh,
think that was like the biggest thing.
yeah,
That's you have to drive like at least 15-20 minutes to find like a good sit down place.
yeah. That's 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 definitely a problem you'll have if you're looking to eat somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. All right. So how would you say you're obviously you transitioned to D3 after the Nepean Raiders? How would you say that season maybe helped you transition, or how did it help you transition?
I think the pace of play was definitely big. I came to the PN from the Quebec CJEP league, and like it was good, but like I was like really dominant there, and I
Yeah.
came to the PN and like I had to like really work to put up points, and like it wasn't as easy. So it definitely helped me try and step up my game and be ready for the next level.
Oh yeah. Okay. Awesome. Um, you know, obviously you made your way to Norwich. How did you enjoy your time? How have you been enjoying your time there, playing, but also just the life there as well?
Oh, I love it. Um, the This is my fourth year at Norwich, and like every year, the whole team is like just one big family. It's just like we're all bonding, and like it's a pretty quiet city. There's not a whole lot to do, so we just hang out with each other all the time, and just have a good time and spend some time at the rink. And I love it here.
Yeah, sometimes all you need is the boys, and then you can have a good
Yeah,
time.
yeah, basically, yeah.
So you got obviously the team has had quite a bit of success recently, and you guys obviously had your season cut short due to
hmm
COVID, and you guys are doing pretty well. Was that a bit of a disappointment maybe for the group and for yourself?
Oh, it was such a disappointment, especially the year before losing in the national
Right.
championship final. That was like our redemption year,
Yeah.
and we were doing so well. And just like that, we were waiting for our NCAA quarterfinal opponent, and just like that, it just done.
Yeah. Just done. It's the way she
Yeah,
goes, unfortunately.
yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking, considering that you guys, had that pretty tough loss the year before, that you're kind of looking to come back, and you guys are doing super hot, and it's
hmm
just a huge disappointment. But hey, you got to live with those sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. There's not a whole lot we can control
Yeah.
right now.
How would you say your game's improved since getting to Norwich?
I think one of my biggest weaknesses before Norwich was my speed, and like I was pretty much a one-dimensional player. Like more of an offensive guy than defense. And I think being here, I really rounded off my game.
Hmm.
I've improved my speed a lot, and I think I'm doing a whole lot better defensively now.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I was gonna kind of follow up with what's something that some a part of your game that you think is improved the most, and something that you maybe need to work on.
Skating for both. Like it
Okay.
improved a lot, but it still needs some work.
Yeah, you can never do too much, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty good. Um, so this is more of a broad question about anywhere you've played, really. But who's a teammate that stuck out to you? Maybe a teammate that you remember, or a favorite teammate of yours, and why?
I think one of the guys here at Norwich, Ryan Boucher, he's been we're the same major, so we have like all our classes together, and we've been on the same line for 3.5 years,
Right.
like even up to now, like we're on the same lines in practice and stuff like that. And he's just a great kid. Like I stayed at his house for a couple of months, like 2 summers ago, and like he's just unbelievable kid. Like he's one of my best friends on the team, and he's definitely one of the best teammates I've ever had.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a good. Kind of a same question, but for a coach or a trainer
Uh,
or personnel.
I think our head coach right now, Cam Ellsworth, he's been really really good for me. I think he's helped me a lot. He's he played the game, like he's been there, done that, and like he whatever you need, you can just go up to him, ask him, and he's gonna sit down, talk to you. And I think especially through the pandemic, he's been really good for us.
Yeah, a good approachable guy that you can kind of have a chat about and
Oh
take.
yeah, yeah. You
That's awesome.
can you can talk about anything with him, and like he's just gonna come up with random facts that you had no idea that like no one would ever know. Yeah.
Hey, that's nice though. You get some random facts here and there. It keeps you on your feet.
Oh yeah.
Um, who's a player you take inspiration from, maybe, or you maybe model your game after?
Um, there's quite a few, honestly, but I think Joe Pavelski is a big one for me.
Yeah.
Uh, I struggled my sophomore year um, with like I wasn't really around the net and stuff like that, and like over Christmas break, our coach told me like just watch like Joe Pavelski play, just like watch him play over break and watch how he scores and watch where he goes. And ever since then, I was like, wow, yeah, he's a really good two-way player that puts up points consistently. And I was like, well, I want to play like that guy.
Yeah. I remember watching Joe Pavelski during the playoffs I think when he was still with the Sharks, but just like seeing his play, like going up and down the ice, he's always making great decisions. So
Yeah,
it was noticeable, and he's still doing pretty hot. So
yeah.
um,
Like, especially at the start of this season,
yeah,
he's got like something like 14 points in 10 games or something. Like
yeah,
he's doing really good.
yeah. Dallas had all their first games postponed, and then they took no time getting out of the gate
Yeah, no,
and pushing it.
honestly.
Yeah. So you're doing classes still? Is it all online for you, or is it in
Yeah,
person?
it's all online right now. I
Okay.
think the president of our school in a couple weeks was going to make a decision on if we go hybrid or if we stay all online. But as of right now, it's online only.
Okay. Because I know some schools in the States do in person and some haven't. So yeah.
Yeah, no, we're pretty strict with our restrictions and like
Yeah.
the we have quite a few cases right now,
Right.
so it's definitely be a, it's definitely a challenge to have classes in person.
Yeah, for sure. Have you enjoyed online courses, or have you maybe found that you prefer in person?
I prefer in person.
Yeah.
It's definitely different to be online. It's takes a lot more organization and like actually sitting down and being like, all right, I'm gonna put like an hour to do it now.
Yeah,
Like
I've found that its dedication is hard to do because you gotta just be
mhm.
in the same spot and have the same level of motivation as if you were not in the same, like if you're stuck in
Yeah,
your room, it's tough, you know?
yeah, it's definitely harder
Yeah.
online.
Yeah, for sure. What are some goals that you still have in mind for yourself and some that you've set?
Um, I really want to play professionally. Next year, I'm hoping to get an East Coast contract or at least a tryout, and I'm also looking to Europe or like wherever I could play. I'd be willing to go. Like as long as it's financially decent, I'm definitely going.
Yeah, that's a good goal to have for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
What's a road trip story that maybe it doesn't have to be with Norwich or anybody really, but a road trip story that maybe is a little funny, but maybe try to keep it PG, but something that's something that made you laugh maybe.
I think the whole trip to the Frozen Four sophomore year
Right.
was like it was one of my first few times like being on a plane and like where all the boys just you know all the boys together and like we played the tournament, unfortunately losing the final, and then we
Yeah.
had a few pops the night before, and then the like the day after the game we were all pretty banged up and we had to get on a bus and we took a charter flight. We had a private plane back to Vermont, and that was sick. Like just being like having a plane just for us. That was
Yeah.
definitely a nice experience for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm jealous. That sounds awesome. That sounds like a really good time. At least, hey, you come back with a loss. At least you got a jet though.
Yeah,
Bring you
at the
home.
time it wasn't too fun,
Yeah,
but
I
looking
bet.
back, it was fun.
Yeah, looking back at it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I ask this on pretty much every person that comes on here, because I feel like a lot of different perspectives in hockey can be really interesting. So, um, the question is, what advice do you wish you would have gotten when you were starting off your pro career?
Uh,
It's a
wow,
tough one.
that's
Yeah,
yeah, that is a tough one.
should have let you know. Sorry.
That's all right. I think to I wouldn't say like take it more seriously, but I think put in more work earlier. Like I really started taking it seriously when I after midget. Like
Right.
before that, I didn't really train in the summer and like I didn't do much. Like I was just like playing roller hockey and like playing other sports. And then like I got to juniors and it was a whole lot different ball game. And then coming to Nepean was really like a big transition for me.
Yeah.
So I think if I maybe put in more work when I was younger, maybe things would have been different. But
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah, you never know, but it's interesting to get that perspective from people because there's also lessons you can kind of pass down as well,
Yeah.
especially in
Oh
that
yeah.
aspect.
Hmm.
Um, is there anyone on so you guys have been practicing in groups, right?
Yeah, like small groups. Like we're 4 or 5 on the ice at a
Okay,
time.
what kind of drills are you guys doing? Just 4 or 5 guys? Like,
Just skill work,
yeah,
like stuff you would do over the summer with like a bunch of shooting, skating, stuff like that, just to try and like get back into it. Like we haven't skated in,
yeah,
you know, like November. Our Norwich went all online again, like right after Thanksgiving break, so we weren't allowed to practice. So like it was like we had 2-3 skates since November, so just kind of
yeah,
slowly getting back into it.
yeah. What do you think the biggest challenge is going to be for you when and hopefully if the games start back up? What do you think is going to be the hardest part to get adjusted to?
Definitely I think the pace of play. Like it's definitely something that we haven't played a real game in almost a year. So I think definitely the pace of play and playing against someone you don't know.
Yeah,
Like we've had inter squad scrimmages, and like after one or two, like the habits and
yeah,
tendencies of most guys, and now you're just playing against brand new people that you have no idea what they're doing.
yeah. I was talking to some players that are on the Raiders team right
Mhm.
now, actually, and so they're playing the Kempville team in their sort of bubble, and that's the only team they've been playing. So it
Oh
gets really
wow.
repetitive for them to play the same team over and over again.
Yeah.
But hey, you learn the good and the bad as well. So
Yeah, I feel like some pretty big rivalries could come out of that.
yeah, but the thing is, they're also not allowed to hit, right? So some players
Oh,
were frustrated because you build this rivalry, but you can't actually kind of give them
yeah.
give them a little tap here and there.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Is like, how does it work? Is it like, do you get a penalty if you hit someone?
Yeah, I think it's a penalty if you hit someone, and I think
Wow.
you can only do it a certain amount of times. I'm not exactly sure though.
Jeez.
But yeah, you can't really get in any contact. But
It's pretty
that's
crazy.
that's been a challenge for players right now for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, at least they're on the ice. That's all that really matters at that
Yeah.
point.
There's no complaints. It's just, a
Yeah.
little nitpick here and there. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, listen, I don't really have any more questions for you. I really appreciate you coming on real quick today and then chatting with me. But yeah, thanks so much.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, one last question actually. Are you a Habs fan? Because you're out of Montreal, right?
No, I'm sadly a Detroit fan.
Oh, interesting. How did that come about then?
Um, my uncle was a huge fan, and whenever I would go to his house or whatever, like we'd be talking about the Wings and like watching games and stuff, and like Datsuk was one of my favorite players growing up, so I just
He's
kind of
he's a great player, man. So
oh
silky.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just the
So
mitts on him.
I think I started being like a real fan of them in their like 07, 08 runs, like when they had
Right?
the
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
backs with Pittsburgh. That's
Yeah,
really when I was like, all right, like this is my favorite team now,
for
and
sure.
it's kind of tougher now, but it's,
I was gonna say because I'm an Ottawa fan, so it's really tough for us. But
Mhm.
um, the way you said you're a Detroit fan, you kind of were like, actually, that's exactly how I answer it every time somebody asks me. I'm like, well, I'm a Sens fan, and it's a little hard right now.
Yeah, it's
That's what I've found, anyways.
yeah, it's tough, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm a big hockey fan in general. Like if there's a game on, I'm just gonna watch it. Like I love watching the
Yeah,
NHL and like seeing what these guys can do. It's just unbelievable to me. So
yeah.
like
Oh yeah,
if there's a game on, I'm gonna want Detroit to win,
yeah.
but like I'm gonna watch any other game that's on.
Yeah, especially after the break, like it was any
Yeah,
game on. I was watching teams that I'd never watched in my life, and I was like, yes, I'll watch everything.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, I'll won't take any more time. Thanks so much again, Felix. I appreciate it, and good luck. Hopefully, when the season starts, if it does, you'll have a great one.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem.